Now, this picture you're seeing here of Tiger Woods and Butch Harmon, the drill that you can see led to the most dominant era of golf we've ever seen from a player. So this was just before Tiger's late 90s to early 2000s stint. And a lot of that was made possible because of his right arm tweak him and Butch Harmon made. And what the tweak was Tiger used to be back here with his trail arm. So his right arm used to get a little bit too much behind the body. And then from there, as he turned, he could sometimes get the right arm stuck and would have to fire it out. It would cause a lot of inconsistency for him. But still, of course, because of his greatness before he made this change, he was still extremely, extremely good. So what they were doing, they were wanting to get this right arm a little bit more in front of the middle of his body, his seam line here. So what that enabled him to do, that enabled him to sync up his body turn and arm swing nicely. So then he could hit much more shots, which were a lot more predictable of a curvature, and it really hugely improved his iron game. So this is something I see every single day on lessons on Skillest with players from around the world who send in lessons to me. They will have their right arm being really poorly behind. Just this morning, I was doing a lesson with a student for this same thing. So that's where we need to fix it straight away, because of course, if that right arm is too far behind, we could get stuff like steep shaft for some players. Of course, they're gonna get stuck with their trail arm. They have to fire it out, so they might start to see early extension in order to get the right arm to fire out in front. Of course, early extension on its own is a terrible fault to have. You'll see body rotation stalling out and a big flip. Quite often you'll see either extreme toe shots and even shank shots. So again, we have to fix this. So let's talk about what Tiger did in that drill and how we can replicate that picture we saw on the thumbnail and at the beginning of this video. But also for all of you out there who doesn't have Butch Harmon next to you or someone helping you out, on how you can do a little routine to get the right arm into a good spot. So again, let's look at that picture. What is Tiger's coach Butch doing here? Right arm, or his hand, is right behind his right arm there. So that's just stopping him from pulling it back too much. So that was one of the things they did there. And other than that, the famous drill, which I've done a lot myself as well, and that is the pause at the top drill. Pausing at the top here, getting ourselves collecting to that top of the backswing because it helped him feel the right arm being more in front. And then as he turned down, it kept with that feeling, of course, with the right arm moving in front of the body, arms not being stuck behind. Absolutely brilliant one to do, a very challenging drill, absolutely. But one Tiger absolutely hated because of how challenging it was, but will absolutely help you a ton. Like I said, the benefits of the right arm being in that good spot are just endless. Again, like for Tiger, it helped him with that body connection between arms, body. So that really helped everything move through. He had complete control of the club face. Why? Again, he had such that good stint afterwards. But for golfers out there, it will help you shallow the shaft a little bit better, because as soon as the right arm gets behind, it gets steep, as we know. And absolutely, it's going to help you have that much more compressed striking, because when that right arm with that elbow starts to move more in front here and starts to get, of course, in that almost like pointing down position, as soon as you're moving there, connects to the side better. So then as you turn through, it creates a lot more compression with shaft lean. Whereas if it's behind me, you can see then I get this gap between my side and my body, and I have to throw and early release it. So like we said, Tiger had that drill with Butch there, and also the pause at the top, which is absolutely great. But how are we gonna do that ourselves with no one helping us? So guys, a quick break in the video just to talk about my brand new series, which is called What is My Root Cause? That is available completely free for my Skillest followers. So on my Skillest profile, if you click follow, which is completely free to do, you're gonna receive each week a new What is My Root Cause, where it's going into a golfer's swing, one of my students, on one of their first lessons they would have ever taken with me, and running through what was causing their issue in their golf swing. So let's say someone who early extends in a downswing. You know from watching my videos, you will have root cause reasons. So we're gonna be going through that. No matter what their issue is, if it has root causes in them, we will talk about it and you will learn about exactly what cause is there. So it's going to increase your golfing IQ. So you'll know when you look at your own golf swing, you're going to know what to look for. So extremely insightful bit of information. And again, no charge at all for this. All you need to do is click follow on my Skillest and you are going to receive them each week so you can learn and get that coaching level of knowledge on the golf swing, which I feel every golfer needs to be able to reach their golfing potential. So what we're going to do, we are going to do 3 different drills. Okay, so with our first one, completely right arm only. You can do this in practice swings as well, because we just need to feel the sensation of that right arm not getting stuck behind us. And again, I'd really find this would be something for you to do if you just struggle with that right arm movement. If you don't struggle with the right arm movement, there's no point in doing this. So make sure this is applicable to yourself. So knowing your own golf swing before you put these drills into place is going to be really important. Otherwise, you will just waste your time if your right arm's already good. So having your left hand, placing it behind your right elbow, and that's going to stop you from pulling the right arm back. So all I want you to do is do one arm swings where you're swinging back and swinging through. And when we are then moving, it forces the body to have a little bit more rotation as well. Because quite often when we see players get funky with their right arm, it's because their body's not turning off, everything pulls in behind them. So we're just cupping the back of our right elbow, turning back, turning through, keeping that right arm in front. As a result, and again, we can hit some balls here, just like here, tee to green air in Scotland. We can see here from in any weather, of course, Scotland, the weather's actually really bad at the moment. There's a storm rolling through. So just as well I'm here. And absolutely, we can just nip a couple balls. Doesn't matter how we hit it when we do it, but just to make sure, I mean, that was quite nice and straight, right on the line. Just do that all the time. But absolutely, it will ingrain it into and just give you a feeling. Again, if it's really tough to do, tells you it probably is something you need to work on. So that's our first little drill. And that's something that will kind of introduce us to the feeling and will be a great place to start off with. Secondly, this is emulating what Butch and Tiger were doing. So if we get a head cover and we put it into our belt loops just like so, and then what we want to do from here, we want to, as we move back in our backswing, we want to keep that right arm in front of this head cover. Keep it in front of the head cover. If it starts to pull in behind, of course, we're then get like bad right arm getting stuck. So it gives us feedback. So we can just hit shots. Again, that's emulating just like with Tiger and Butch with his hand there. But instead of Butch's hand, you've got this head cover that is going to stop you from getting overly too back. And there we go. So it's a really, really nice one just to keep everything in front. I closed the face down a little bit too much on that one. That's my fault in general. But absolutely really good. So you can see with club path, how much has it helped that? Pretty neutral, so you can see just a pull from the face turning over. That's not due to the right arm. That's just my bad shot. So really, really good one. Getting in the reps with that will be absolutely ideal. Let's do one more. That felt nice. A little bit closey down, but again, kept that right arm nicely in front because I would have felt it if I didn't. And again, for the third portion of this, again, you could think, okay, practice swings, I want to make sure I'm doing those one arm swings, and I could do a bunch of practice at the start with just that in my belt loops and just hitting shots. But here's what makes it even more like what Tiger and Butch did. Of course, one of Tiger's famous drills, like we talked about, was the pause at the top. So the pause at the top, again, is not only helpful for the right arm, it's helpful for feeling a full turn. It's helpful for keeping things in sequence in the downswing. If you're working on anything downswing related, if you work on it at a pause type of motion, you'll be able to compartmentalize it better and separate your backswing from downswing easier for more efficient work. So, okay, let's do one here. Pausing at the top, get a nice full turn, right arm in front of the head cover, and then move through. So again, it's not the easiest of drills. It's one that I find incredibly difficult to do because I've always used to have a quick transition. Another reason why this drill is good, if you rush the downswing, you certainly can't rush it and hit a good shot doing this. You'll get all out of sequence and hit it terribly. But brilliant one to do. Again, if you can put in the reps, you're going to be in a really good spot. That's another nice strike, that one. So making sure, again, like I said, you're putting in the reps with this. With Tiger, that was one of the things in that old Golf Channel clip from years ago where he was talking about the pause at the top drill. He was talking about how he couldn't stand it. He was putting in so many reps. He would be so bored when he was doing it and he just hated it. Every time Butch told him to do that drill again, he would sigh because he didn't want to do it. But then after tons and tons of repetitions, it began to, again, get into his golf swing. But that's the best player of all time we're talking about here. And it took him forever just to make that small tweak from right arm here to right arm there. So elbow behind, so elbow down. So if you guys out there, I know Butch actually says this in this clip, if you guys, again, just recreational golfer think you're going to make the change quicker than Tiger Woods, you are surely mistaken. You have got to keep doing and doing and doing a drill until it gets into that subconscious brain. And these 3 drills that we're showing here absolutely is no exception to it. You have got to get straight to it. But there could also be, for you guys, a reason why that right arm pulls behind you. Absolutely could be, which would be a root cause reason. So if you want to find out your root cause reason, anywhere in the world you can be, and you can send in lessons to me out on Skillist. So Skillist online coaching platform is where I do all of my online coaching, or all of my coaching in general. There's a link in the description. All you need is videos to send in from down the line and face on, and we can get started. And also, if you want to learn more about root cause issues, so root cause being something that you do early in a golf swing that will cause something to happen, like early extension or over the top or a steep shaft, they all happen because of something happening. And I've just started a brand new series on my Skillist, which is only for my followers. You will receive it straight to your direct messages as this series, and that is called What is My Root Cause? So it's where I'll be doing the analysis of a student, and we'll be talking about what their root cause reason is for their issues in the golf swing. So it really help you with your knowledge on the golf swing. And the great thing for this, it is completely free. All you need to do is click that follow button and you'll start to get those videos out. There'll be at least 1 a week, which we'll be sending over. So there's going to be some great stuff in there in being a follower on Skillist as well. I really implore you to do that. I'm going to be doing a lot for my followers out on there that you won't see anywhere else, not YouTube, not Instagram, not TikTok. You'll be there on the followers on Skillist. So again, it's completely free. So if you enjoyed this video, click that like button if you want more golf instruction, just like this. Hit the subscribe button, hit that bell button too to be notified anytime I put out a video.